9.94 seconds. That's really the whole story, right there in one number. Thursday night, Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon. An 18-year-old from San Antonio, Texas steps into the blocks, the gun goes off, and 9.94 seconds later, he's the world under-20 champion in the 100 meters. The wind reading was just 0.1. Completely legal, completely clean. No asterisks, nothing to argue about. His name is Tate Taylor, and he didn't back into this title. He won it by 11/100ths of a second, in a race that had been building for months, beating the only other teenager on the planet who'd broken 10 seconds all year. And he did it in front of his own crowd, on the very same track where, about a month earlier, he'd already beaten an Olympic champion. That's really where this whole story starts. Rewind to July 4th, the Prefontaine Classic, also in Eugene. It's the only Diamond League stop in the United States, and the Diamond League is the highest level of professional sprinting in the world. The men's 200 meters that day was stacked, and one of the names in it was Letzel Tebogo of Botswana, the reigning Olympic champion in the 200 meters from Paris 2024. A legitimate global superstar. Taylor wasn't even supposed to be in that race. He got the call as an injury alternate, a teenager filling a lane that opened up at the last minute. Then the gun fired, and he ran 19.75 seconds. Tebogo crossed second in 19.93. A teenager had just beaten an Olympic gold medalist, along with every other professional in the field. And here's the part that really turns heads. He did it running into a headwind of 0.9. The air was pushing back on him the entire way down the straight, and he still ran that fast. That 19.75 is the third fastest 200 meters ever run by anyone under the age of 20. Only Australia's Gout Gout at 19.67 and American Arion Knighton at 19.49 have gone faster. It also ranks as the 29th fastest 200 meters in history by anyone at any age. So by the time the World U20 Championships rolled around, the hype around this kid was already very real. But the 100 meters is a completely different event, and Taylor's short sprint season coming in was full of question marks. His fastest legal 100 all year was 10.04. Yes, he'd run 9.95 at one point, but the tailwind was plus 2.2, far too strong for it to count. He'd won his U.S. under-20 title in 10.15 into a headwind. Good times, not terrifying times. Then came his final tune-up before Eugene, Nike Outdoor Nationals, and he lost, beaten by his own training partner, Jake Jordan of Great Britain, who owns a 10.01 and a European U20 record. Meanwhile, over in Jamaica, a teenager named Gary Card was doing something nobody else's age could touch. Card ran 9.93 at the Jamaican National Championships, a Jamaican U20 record. Heading into Thursday night, Card was the only under-20 sprinter on earth who'd broken 10 seconds all year. This wasn't a coronation waiting to happen. This was a genuine fight, and a lot of people were picking Card. The rounds backed that up. Taylor ran 10.05 in the heats, then 10.06 in Wednesday's semifinals. Still the fastest time across all three heats, but nothing overwhelming. South Africa's Marko Ferreira won his semi in 10.13. Card won his in 10.16. Taylor wasn't satisfied. His plan for the final, in his own words, was simple: put it all together. And he did exactly that. Card got out of the blocks slightly better and led it halfway. That early burst is his weapon. He's dangerous over the first 50 meters. But somewhere around the 70-meter mark, Taylor's top-end speed kicked in, and the race stopped being close. Over the final 30 meters, he simply pulled away. The Hayward Field crowd was on its feet before he even hit the line. Final result, 9.94 for gold. Card, 10.05, silver. Ferreira, 10.16, bronze. And Jordan, the man who'd beaten Taylor just weeks earlier, finished fifth in 10.31. Now, how rare is 9.94 for someone this age? According to World Athletics, that run makes Tate Taylor the joint fifth fastest under-20 sprinter in history. Fifth, ever. Out of every teenager who's ever laced up a pair of spikes. The outright U20 world record still belongs to Tebogo, who ran 9.91 back in Cali in 2022. And that record was actually set at this very meet. So Taylor didn't break it, but he's now standing on a very short, very elite list, and most of the names near him went on to become household names. Here's another way to measure it. Only 2 under 20 men on the entire planet broke 10 seconds this season. Card, and now Taylor. And there's an American angle here that's bigger than people realize. No American man had won the World U20 100m title since Noah Lyles did it back in 2016, a full decade of waiting. Lyles, of course, went on to become a world champion and an Olympic champion, one of the biggest names in the sport. That's the door Tate Taylor just walked through. Taylor stayed remarkably calm about the whole thing afterward. He said the semifinal showed him a few things he needed to clean up, and he fixed them. "I knew it was going to be a good race for sure," he said. He also had nothing but respect for the build-up with Card, saying he never doubted the Jamaican would bring everything he had. "I knew Gary was going to come. I knew he wanted it bad." Card, for his part, took the loss with real class, calling Taylor a genuinely great person both on and off the track, and adding that he's honored to be seen as his rival in this event. There's also a nickname worth knowing. Fans gave it to him in his comments section, and he's decided to keep it. Off the track, he says he's just Tate. But the moment he steps on it, he's the cheat code. So what's next? The 200 meters, his best event, the one where he already owns that 19.75 and a win over an Olympic champion. He looked completely comfortable in Friday's semifinals, winning his heat in 20.34, the fastest time of the round, without appearing to strain. His American teammate Blake Hamilton was next best at 20.38. Jaden Green of Barbados went third fastest at 20.46. And Gary Card is back for round 2, sixth fastest at 20.64. One more shot at Taylor over the longer distance. One big name is missing, though. Gout, the Australian who holds the outright U20 world record at 19.67, tore his hamstring last month and isn't in Eugene. The head-to-head everyone wanted this summer will have to wait. That leaves Taylor the clear favorite in an event where he's already beaten an Olympic gold medalist. If he wins, he leaves Hayward Field with the sprint double, a World U20 title in both the 100 and the 200, and arguably the loudest teenage resume in the sport right now. 9.94 already did most of the talking. The 200-meter final is where he gets to finish the sentence.